Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 99 of the Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration. And in today's episode we have been approaching on the Kerbin to Urlum transfer window. So I'm pretty much committed to send the Urlum Nuke Explorer. Urlum Nuke Explorer isn't anything special. It is the same probe that we used a while back. We have only used it for dual system. So right now we will be focusing on the Urlum itself instead. So, and it seems that our food on our orbital lab is running out. So that's something that we will need to also take care of. Okay, that being said, this is a typical launch of the well-established craft, so I'm running it times the acceleration. I think it's roughly 3-4 times, separating the initial boosters and just going for the orbit here. Nothing really special, just a little bit of, Okay, going, our apoapsis is climbing 40, 45, 50, so angling down on the prograde marker, not to be too high up. I want it to be semi-efficient actually, so yeah. Angling the nose down because our apoapsis is already around 87 kilometers, so that's pretty much fine. And we're hitting the orbit, kicking off the fairing, and as you can see, this is the standard probe that we used to launch a while back. Nothing really special here. I only think that the difference is that I did add some more RTGs, so just to make sure that we have enough oomph or electrical charge to be able to withstand the bigger antenna, but that's pretty much it. Going on for the circularization, making sure that I open my biggest antenna and making sure that it's communicating to the Kerbin's long-range communication satellite. Perfect. Okay. Sounds great. And now we are in orbit, so we only have 2 hours till our Kerbin to Urlum transfer window, so I might as well start planning the maneuver node for it. We are roughly in the ballpark, so we don't need to fret too much in terms of how are we positioned, where are we launched, and how are we going to do. So we have more or less that information there. So, okay. That being said, I just wanted to make sure that I once again start building the automatic SSTO cargo. I think we have one even in the spaceplane hangar, but the moment I launch one, I want to have one already made because I will for sure, guys, forget. And we have 138 days, so we have plenty of time to actually plan this transfer, and once that's done, then we will be launching that SSTO, I guess. Okay. Inputting the parameters of the transfer burn in the precise node. I really like the precise node, and when put together with the Kerbal weather transfer window, it's just amazing. So yeah, focus on Urlum just to make sure that we have a pretty decent encounter. Now fiddling with the maneuver node, trying to get the best possible encounter that I can get. I mean, you have to remember that this is very, very, very far out, so it will take a lot of time until our probes gets there. And if you remember, the first probe that we actually sent, and that was like ages ago, it is still 8 years out until it gets to Urlum. So it's just something to ponder when it comes to like how really far that Urlum is. Okay, so Anyway, checking for the maneuver node. Now just trying to see if I can secure decent enough encounter. Come on. And like always, fiddling with maneuver node always takes some time and effort, but what can you do? Let's see. Yeah, if I launch earlier, and there we have it. Urlum encounter. And just making sure that I come as close to it as possible. I was even thinking of maybe, just passing by and saying hi, and that's it. I don't know if we will be stopping around. That I guess depends on the delta V required to stop, and I think it will be too much to actually pull it off and return. So yeah, I'm considering this more as a one-way trip, but you never know. You might be surprised. So node in 24 minutes, focusing back on our Kerbin orbit, including our maneuver node, time accelerating until we get to that orbit, and then we will be doing the burn. And it's not too long a burn, 1 minute 29 seconds, so I like these probes because they're fairly light and, well, they don't pack too much science, decent enough amount of science, but yeah. Okay, so we are set and just kicking the gas as we are ejecting, and I'm also using this boosting stage because why not? I mean, this is the reason why the burn takes 1 minute and not 20 minutes. So yeah, now we switch to our nuke engine and immediately our burn extends to 6 minutes and 47 seconds. So yeah, it will be some time before we actually get it. And guys, you're seeing this at 3 times acceleration, which means the rest of the episode will be me ejecting out of Kerbin. Yeah, I'm just kidding, sorry. Not really a tasteful joke. It would be too long of a burn. But yeah, so I guess it's roughly maybe 1 minute, but you can enjoy the sight of our probe ejecting out of Kerbin, and yeah, I'm hoping that it won't be too tedious. Anyway, like a small channel update, we are nearing on the 100th episode. Well, I've pretty much launched what I wanted for the 100th episode, so I don't know if 100th episode will be anything special, guys. Sorry about that. I might do some special episodes at any point later, so yeah. And by the way, as you are probably viewing this, I'm already on a pretty long vacation, and I have recorded this before the KSP 1.1 hit. So yeah, I'm guessing by the time this one airs, the KSP 1.1 might already air, so I don't know exactly. But yeah, I'd have no intentions on stopping this series, but like I said, I will be away in France, but you guys shouldn't feel it because I have recorded lots and lots of episodes that I'm hoping to be airing from there. So they're all pre-uploaded, so if there are any errors, I'm sorry, I cannot fix them, I cannot do anything about it. So yeah, but I will for sure continue uploading, and yeah, once I come back. So with that thing in mind, we have only 300 meters per second to burn. And let's see if we will secure our Urlum encounter. And you can see in the, like, from the perspective of this, we already have one probe that's already passed its way around Sarnas, and it's going to Urlum. Sorry, pressed the button accidentally. And it will take 8 years until these two align. Jeez. That's long. So, here we have Urlum encountered. Great. So let's now just fiddle a little bit ups, down, left, right, just to make sure that we have fair enough encounter, and I think I'm pretty happy with this one. So let us just take a watch as our nuke probe leaves the Kerbin sphere of influence. At a slight time acceleration, of course. Beautiful view. We've seen it already many times when our Kerbals or any other probes left or were leaving the Kerbin sphere of influence. So, by Kerbin, yet another probe going on its very long voyage. Okay, there we see Moon in the distance. I don't know if we saw Minmus, I don't think so. Anyway, sphere of influence change is upon us, which means we want to just make sure that the sphere of influence change went smoothly, and that after the sphere of influence we still do maintain a Urlum encounter, which I'm hoping to happen, and Urlum Nuke Explorer in 9 years. So, not too long after the first Urlum encounter hits. Okay, that being said, launchpad reconditioning is complete, and the Joule recycling station will take another 38 days to complete. Okay, cool. Right, with that thing in mind, we can go actually, I'm just checking VAB, and in Spaceplane Hangar we have an automatic cargo Mark 1 ready to launch. And like always guys, the mission of our automatic cargo is resupply. So, we put it out on the runway, and it's a drone SSTO, which you've seen me launch, but once again, like I said, I am kind of a completionist. I want to make sure that all my launches are correct, waiting until we actually hit the sunny side of life, and also until the station is roughly well positioned to be able to rendezvous with it. Taking off. (120 meters per second), not stellar thrust to weight, but this is a proven design which worked many times before, so steepening our climb and making sure that the gear is up and that everything is put in correctly. Let's just remind that in the last time when I was flying the SSTO, it was successful in terms of ascent, but due to my own stupidity, there were some issues, let's call them like that, with landing. Basically, I forgot to pull out the landing gear. And you can imagine how that ended up. It ended up in almost complete destruction of the SSTO on landing after it has performed its mission. Oh, a little bit of instability here. No big deal. It's a little bit chubby. I'm just checking out in terms of my fuel distribution, or weight distribution, and as you can see, I'm 10 kilometers up and going roughly at around Mach 1, so I'm not too fast, so that's why I'm pitching my nose down to gain some speed, because I really do need more speed. What can I say? I have the need for speed. But that's what happens when you're in a kind of probe SSTO flying high and you actually need to create lift, so that's why. Okay, we are picking on speed and we are picking up on altitude, but we will probably miss our rendezvous with the station, but no matter, we can go into lower orbit and simply wait until we get a favorable rendezvous, I guess. It's roughly out there, so I'm guessing that the corrections shouldn't be huge. 550 meters per second. Soon enough, we will be passing Mach 2. And we are at 22 kilometers, 23 actually. Now the air becomes here very, very thin. And but this plane has not too many engines and it has huge intakes, so I'm hoping the amount of air it will be catching should be enough up to gain, basically to maintain air breathing mode up to 35-40 kilometers. That's kind of my goal, but we'll see also in terms of speed how much we will fare. So I mean, I won't kind of push the plane past its useful point, so yeah. 900 meters per second, Mach 3, and now since the air is very thin here, we actually are able to accelerate, but since the air is so thin here, we have minimum momentum in terms of lift, so I have to actually thrust at a very high angle of attack, roughly 30 degrees even. So yeah, I'm now pitching even to 40, almost 50 degrees. Just to make sure that we are raising our apoapsis, because I do want still to be going up rather than level. Our air intake usage is at 40%, which means that once it gets past the 100%, our engines will begin to choke, and then it starts growing exponentially. But we are already going fast enough at 1,600 meters per second, so it's not a big deal at any point to switch to the closed cycle mode. So, well, why not? And intake air went bye-bye, and which means I need to switch to the closed cycle, and now we are accelerating very fast, and we are raising our apoapsis to 87. Perfect. And now the delta V for circularization should be minimal, I believe. Around 200 meters per second, we have total of 1,500 in the tank, which we will use some portion of to actually secure a rendezvous. Okay, that being said, let's open this, let's extend our communitron just to make sure that we don't run out of communications range. Angling the SSTO and waiting for the opportune moment to hit the gas. It's mandatory screenshot, which probably might be actually a screenshot for the episode. Well, think about it, definitely. And so let's see, 22 seconds, sure. Not a long burn, and we are burning. And there we go. Perfect. We managed to circularize without much fuss. Unfortunately, the station went way ahead, so that means we will have to go to lower orbit and be slightly faster than it to secure a rendezvous. So I'm actually raising or kind of lowering my periapsis just to make sure that I'm maintaining a slower orbit, or faster orbit, sorry guys, but faster but lower, yes. Okay, and now I'm fiddling with the maneuver node to see where can I get the good rendezvous, and seems somewhere around here would be a good enough. Okay, maybe a little bit more. I guess something along these lines doesn't sound too bad. By the way, guys, at the time of recording, I'm really looking forward for the 1.1 and hopefully fixing these issues in terms of moving maneuver nodes. But anyway, I have decided that I should probably skip until the part where we're actually doing the rendezvous. So yeah. We are now close to the station, and I'm just aligning and making sure that I can burn in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So I kind of just skipped like multiple orbits until we secure the encounter. So, okay, once again, screenshot. I'm not sure which one I will be using, but then again, one of them I will be using for sure. hitting the autosave just in case the Kraken hits. After all, guys, you wouldn't believe I'm running so close to my memory limit that I get crashes once every half hour, so yeah. That's why I'm kind of pretty much save scumming this series now. But like I said, if it's my fault, I will for sure not reload, but if it's Kraken's fault or crash fault, then I will reload. Okay. I think we have executed the burn. Now it's time for the rendezvous. So let us time accelerate until we get to the rendezvous. I'm just making sure that I'm putting alert for the Kerbal alarm clock. And we are definitely coming closer. And when we come into the physics range, which means my frame rate will go bye-bye, I will for sure kick the time acceleration up a notch. So sorry if it starts going all jittery or something. Anyway. Okay, closing in. .3, and we are hitting the, yeah, we are now within physics range. Just positioning myself, maneuvering to get as soft approach as I can, opening the docking port and taking a screenshot and making sure that we position ourselves nicely for the encounter. Okay. We are docking on the external docking port, so I'm just aligning myself and using a whole lot of monoprop that I actually was given to make sure that I'm aligned correctly. So, because why not? Okay, 300 meters out. 250, and we can see the orbital lab approaching. Perfect. I'm crazy about these screenshots. They're just so cool. I really love the docking procedure. It really looks cool. 80 meters. And we are almost perfectly aligned. $20 meters. Slowing down a little bit. Once again, screenshot. 5 meters. 4, 3, 2. Decelerating. 1. And docked. Perfect. Couple of mandatory screenshots and time to actually transfer the resources that we need. So, with that thing in mind, our crowd here, our scientists, Mr. Fisher, Mario, are happy to receive some new and fresh snacks and to also take out the garbage out from the station. Which is kind of the main mission of this refueling guy, and I'm using Tech Fuel Balancer to make sure that I transfer everything. Cool. Okay, just shifting supplies, and after supplies we're done. We decide to undock, and within the same mission we will actually go back this time. And I'm really eager to see how will it go. because, like I said, last mission really didn't go that well. So, leaving the Kerbin Orbital Lab behind us, I am withdrawing the antenna. I mean, we are close enough within the communications range satellite, so we don't have to worry about signal and relays. As you can see, we have plenty of satellites to bounce information around with, so I'm not overly concerned. And okay, now I'm just making sure that I'm lowering my periapsis to actually go into the atmosphere, and while I'm doing so, to have a flyby over the KSC. I'm hoping that the rotation of the Kerbin and stuff will hopefully make just enough so that once we are flying over KSC, we would be able to just stop. And yeah, deploying the air brakes, opening the air intakes, activating the navigation, which gives me a nice distance to the KSC just below my altimeter and roughly an ETA. 6 minutes in total. Since we're playing in time acceleration, that should be around a little bit less. Anyway, transferring as much fuel and weight I can forward to maintain the spaceplane stability. Okay, and pressing the autosave just to make sure nothing bad happens, and I decided to use the rest of the monoprop just to decelerate, because, I mean, why not? I didn't really want to flip the aircraft because we are closing in on the atmosphere, but why the hell not use the RCS to decelerate? Okay, flying over the Kerbin's deserts at roughly 2,200 meters per second, so very high speed, and we are not yet within the atmosphere, but we will be in now. So just grazing off the atmosphere and making sure that all of my air brakes are deployed and that we are introducing as much drag as we can, but since the air is thin, I decided to do a little bit of yo-yo, so I'm pitching high up using the whole surface of the space plane to actually, like a big brake, essentially. We can already see the mountains of the KSC. Pitching up, pitching a little bit down because I wanted to my trajectory not to go too high up. And okay, and now we are roughly on our prograde marker, but we are 32 kilometers up, and I'm hoping that we are getting now into the denser part of the atmosphere, so I'm deactivating navigation not to mislead me, because we know that after these mountains we have our KSC. And all air brakes deployed, we are braking pretty hard, and I'm very thankful and happy that this is the KSP-090 and not the 105 or 11, where the heating is a problem. So I will be doing later episodes in 1.1 when we will have heating, and I can guess that there will be some very funny results. Anyway, 1000 meters per second, braking heavily, 800, 700. By the way, these jerky movements were just me slowly tapping and making sure that I don't introduce too much of a control surfaces, but so not to tear the plane apart. Okay, we are going at 0.8 Mach, so we are already subsonic, which is great. Turning on the engine slightly just to make sure that I maintain stability during the landing. Deploying a small portion of the air brakes, followed by the rest. And this time, guys, I'm double checking that my landing gear is actually deployed, not to make the same mistake twice. Coming on approach, flaring, still going pretty fast, but yeah, too fast for my taste, but what can you do? Touching down at 100 meters per second, hitting the brakes and hitting the parachutes. And oh boy. Okay. We'll manage to stop. Great. Okay, guys. I'm just saving. I guess this is for this episode. Like if you like the episode, hit subscribe for more KSP content that will be coming soon. And until next episode, thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.